You ever get like a rotten beer before?
Yeah.
I shotgun one. It's the worst. Oh my God, I thought thinking about it. Like you shotgun a beer. It's so disgusting.
Have you been following any of it? This whole thing with David Grusch?
I mean, I guess it's like everything. Everything's hearsay with him. Like there's no evidence.
I don't think he can give much evidence, right? Like all of the evidence is classified still. David Grusch mentioned that it's we've captured or we have recovered parts of craft and then full craft, and then it's kind of like this secret arms race with us and other countries, and that other countries have done the same. Dude, so then it makes me think about like all of these, like this freaking Tic Tac thing.
Yeah.
Is that China? Like, is that Russia? Is that some other country? Like, they feel so safe that they could bring this thing. We're not faster than them.
Yeah. Well, there was a real, and this happened 10 years ago or more. There was a real point where I'm like, ooh, I don't know if I like this anymore. Like maybe I got a skunky beer once. You ever get like a rotten beer before?
Yeah.
I shotgun one. It's the worst. Oh my God, I thought thinking about it. Like you shotgun a beer. It's so disgusting.
When it's bad.
At school when they give you the little containers of milk. I did that with rotten milk too before. And it's something that where you can't recover from. It's instantly, you're throwing up instantly. Like, cause you don't realize it that split second when you're downing it. And by the time you realize it, it's all the way down. Same thing with the shotgunning a beer. And it was like, oh my God, it was so gross. It was so gross. I threw up instantly.
Dude, aliens. Have you been following any of it? This whole thing with David Grusch?
I have been following it, yes. Not like crazy, but enough to be like, what the F? And the only thing that that bothers me with it a little bit is, I mean, I guess it's like everything. Everything's hearsay with him. Like there's no evidence. He's
right.
Just, my buddy, but he what is he? He's a United States Air Force officer and former intelligence official. So, I mean, he's a real deal guy. It's not like he's, just some Joe Schmo, right?
I don't think he can give much evidence, right? Like all of the evidence is classified still. And so what he's saying is, hey, these programs are going on. It's like improper funding. The American government doesn't, or the American people aren't aware of this funding. That's the illegal side of it, right? Like where it's a government of the people, and so like they work for us, and so here they are hiding this thing. But so I heard something that if he came out and said all of the secrets, like he's sharing classified information, so like he really can't give like the details, but he can say these programs exist. Kind of be vague about it.
Yeah. Well, I really hope that the Congress really takes this and runs better than they did the last time. Would they watch a 10-minute video or of the worst part of that video and of the Tic Tacs or whatever from the, they didn't even watch the good ones, and they watched the ones that were the worst. But
they're going to see, I mean, they have, it's the worst because you've seen better ones. So they have access to all, they have access to YouTube and all the same shit we do. So there's even better videos that we don't even know about.
Yeah.
And those are the ones that they should be seeing,
And that's what I want to see so bad. I cannot, Chris, is this really happening? Is this going to happen? Because, there's so many reasons why I want this to happen, even if it means the end of us as mankind, you know what I mean? Because I'd rather die from some fucking aliens than some dumbass nuking us, you know what I mean?
Sure.
I'd rather be taken over by aliens than that happening. Or
instead of what is it? North Korea marching in?
Or Russia fucking bombing us, or China. I'd rather aliens come and take care of us than some stupid humans that destroy me because they're stupid.
What stood out, dude? I went through and read a bunch, and then I watched all of his. He gave one interview to some no-name freaking cable news network.
Yeah.
And I think only because no one else wanted to pick it up. Maybe it was like the New York Times was like, oh, we just wanted to validate some information first before we came out with it. We weren't running from it, where other agencies were like, no, we're not doing it. So you went to, I don't know, Fox News's third cousin, but that he said that David Grusch mentioned that it's we've captured or we have recovered parts of craft and then full craft.
Yeah.
And then it's kind of like this secret arms race with us and other countries, and that other countries have done the same.
Yeah, they have it too. Yeah.
Dude, so then it makes me think about like all of these, like this freaking Tic Tac thing.
Yeah.
Is that China? Like, is that Russia? Is that some other country? Like, they feel so safe that they could bring this thing into our territory, and just like they know that they can't touch, or that we can't touch it. We're not faster than them.
Yeah, we have nothing that can do anything with it. I mean, okay, so I mean, is it, if they have alien technology? If you're saying that Russia or China, and we all have alien technology,
that's what David Grusch is saying,
and they're winning the race, then, right? That means China, Russia. If those are China, Russia, they're winning the race, pretty much.
Maybe. Like, what if we're doing the same? What if we're over there, or like, what if we have our stuff and we're just keeping it super secret and it's way better than theirs, and that's why we're not worried about it? Because we're like, hey, if they really want to flex, we'll bring out our craft too.
Well, what was with the balloon at the beginning of the year? They said that was from China too. But what do you think that was?
I think that was a legitimate balloon. Too? I think that was a legitimate balloon.
It was a legitimate Chinese spy balloon.
Yeah, or I bet it was spying, and I bet it was a weather balloon type device, right? Those things can go super high and float forever. They can hit the freaking jet stream, and I mean, dude, they can hit the edge of space, So, but for sure, it's spying. I mean, dude, that's why we can't. We're gonna, which is dumb. I have a drone, a DJI Mini SE. It's barely a drone, but it's still a badass drone made by DJI, a Chinese company. Right. And our government's worried about China putting spying technology inside of those drones, and they're starting to, like, if you're a police station in frickin' Louisiana, it's illegal for you to buy DJI drones now. You have to get some other brand. Dude, and they're the leader. Like, they are the best.
Yeah, but does that make sense a little bit? I mean, that's the whole thing with the whole TikTok thing, and that makes sense with the whole reason why
with the Chinese phones.
Well, yeah, the 5G stuff,
Huawei or something. Yeah,
the 5G stuff. China already had spyware and everything. That's why that's actually helping out my company. We make 5G stuff, so like they pretty much, and they were ahead of us on the 5G stuff, and now no, we can't use any of your stuff. So that's why my place of work is thriving.
See, that scares me that they were ahead, because and maybe 5G is easy, but I always feel like China has to steal stuff from America, right? Like, if you're an American company and you want to do business in there, you pretty much have to give away all of your trade secrets to the government. They learn from it. They can't build the same chips that we can build here. I don't think Intel can send chips to China, and I think like you can't.
Like China can't buy our computers and shit.
Yeah, I bet you we can't, like, through customs. Like, we can't bring a computer on that's going to go to China. Maybe no. We totally can't. Like, my boss has gone to China. Yeah.
You bring your laptops. Yeah,
dude. But the phones are different. Like, I know my boss's wife is from China, and somehow she was able to come to the United States. Like, they have a social credit system there, and not everyone's allowed to leave the country. You have to, like, your parents have to be rich enough, or you have to, like, have, like, the right social standing in order to leave. Anyways, so she was able to come to the U.S. And she talks about how one of the first things, like, people in China do is they buy a U.S. based iPhone. Because like the iPhones in China have just, it's like you can't.
Yeah, you can't do anything on it without.
Yeah, you don't get the App Store. You get the Chinese version of the App Store.
Right.
You don't get Twitter. You get China's Twitter.
And they probably have their fingers and hands and eyes and everything more so than, I mean, even though ours is probably the same way, but it's probably more blatant.
Yeah, well, dude, we're America. We're better.
Yeah, we are so much
better. Dude, so there's. Did you watch any of the interview that David Grusch gave?
No, I didn't. I like caught clips of it, but it was mostly. I was reading tons of articles. Like I was reading, like I was reading like Forbes. The Forbes article was like saying this is science fiction and that this is dumb. Like,
isn't that weird?
But what's so dumb to me is that like his reasoning was that the guy that wrote this article was that if aliens had the technology to build an aircraft that can travel across dimensions or the universe, you think it can crash, you know, I mean, like, but I mean, like, I guess that kind of makes sense, but it doesn't. Like, you know, you think that if everything is flawless, there's also no, you know what I mean? Like, I don't know.
Right. Dude, that freaked me out, the whole interdimensional travel thing.
Yeah.
Where I was like, holy shit, man. And like a thought that crossed my mind was like, what if it's different in the other dimension? What if like their spacecraft works just fine?
Right.
But then over here in this dimension, it works.
There's a molecule that fucks with it or something.
You know what I mean? It's like 95% okay.
Yeah.
Except if this one thing happens, humidity gets too high, it's going to fuck shit up, you know?
Yeah.
But
the only thing that worries me about this is, like, do you know in Congress who's pushing this the most?
No.
It's the like extreme right wing people who believe in all the, you know, the QAnon Republicans. These are the extreme people who are pushing this the most. But like, so, and trust me, I'm aliens 100%. But I do believe, and I've always believed that the government is hiding stuff from us. So maybe this is something positive they're actually going to do in life. You know, maybe. But there are some Democrats that are on board now. Like, you know what I mean? Like, but who was really pushing this in the beginning was like the extreme right people, I guess. So.
What sucks with that is then it's going to become some kind of political battle, right?
Yes.
Like there's going to be Democrats that are just going to be like, oh, fuck it, we're just going to shut it down because it's Matt Gaetz or, you know, whoever it is that's freaking pushing it. And it's like, nah, this is...
But it drives
me nuts, man.
Yeah, it blows my mind how to me, well, I mean, don't get me wrong. There was definitely, I was reading some articles and there's Democrats that are on board and they're not extreme, you know, they're, you know, it's pretty much everybody's kind of getting on board now with this, but like who kicked it off was the extremists. But I always found it funny that you would think that Democrats would kick this off more because normally the Republicans are religious, you know what I mean? And they're, you know, they
like aliens go against religion. Yeah. We're sacred. Yeah.
Yeah. We're special. Right. But dude, I mean, dude, if they come from another dimension, I mean, what does that mean? Does that mean that, I mean, like the universe is so vast and so infinite that another dimension and endless amount of dimensions, that means we have endless amount of endlessness. You know what I mean? It's kind of mind blowing. That's why
Go ahead.
That's why, like, when people say there's no aliens or aliens aren't intelligent enough to be here. I mean, there's infinite amount of possibilities. You know what I mean? So, of course, there could be something intelligent enough to find us or come at us.
Yeah,
get here somehow.
Well,
even if it's interdimensional.
Just like, I mean, we tried going to the moon. What was it, in the 70s? And it, you know,
69. Yeah.
Yeah, but like, did we? Oh, yeah, that's where we landed, right? But we didn't. You know, it took us. What was the first? Was it Apollo 11 that landed? No, Apollo. I don't. 8. I don't remember which one it was. Whatever it was, it took 5 or 6 or 8 tries for us to get there. You know what I mean? Yeah. And even then, like Apollo 13 had its issues. You know, but it's like it could be aliens could be coming to visit us, and it's like they're pushing the limits of like what they're capable of doing. Yeah. And they're like, hey, but we know there's a planet over there, Earth. We could rob from them. They have this thing called gold that's super helpful to us, and we just don't have it.
And the scary part is how they were saying that the UFOs were aggressive, right? They like
dude. So that's what I took the first time, but I don't know. I don't know what he meant by that. Like, he also talked about that. He was saying, I read something else, and the way I thought he meant it was that the program itself, like, people have died not from encounters with aliens, but from the secrets. Like, someone in the 90s said something, and like they were killed off.
Right. No, but I mean, I saw 2 different things. So I saw that where people were being killed to keep the secrets, and then I saw that how do you spell? That's how he said. These are his words. MALEVOLENT. Malevolent.
Malevolent.
Malevolent.
Yeah.
Malevolent activity they have. These UFOs have, including nuclear site probing. If we look at through humanistic lens, it appears negative, he said. So, like, I mean, maybe they're not. Maybe the negative is, because that's what they're saying. They're saying that some of these, remember, even Joe Rogan was saying that guy from Joe Rogan was saying that they're shooting down rockets, or test nukes, that other countries are doing and we're doing. They're always around our nukes.
Yeah.
So, but like I said, if they're Chinese, what if they're Chinese?
Yeah. Dude, if they're here and they're not nice, like that goes, I just had always assumed that they would be nice. I feel like they had solved all of their social problems and they're here to help solve ours. And it would suck. Right? It does, right? But it would suck so bad. But dude, at the same time, like we as humans, like we want to conquer. Right. Like we've done that our entire lifetime. And we've gotten more like proper about it or like nicer about it. It's like, hey, it's good. It's a freaking declaration of war before we come in and rape and take your, and everything.
And we're not going to smash Native American babies' heads with our boots to say bullets. We're more moral about war, I guess, but
we're going to let you shoot first before we do it,
and then we're just going to destroy you.
But if they're, cause they could just freaking wipe us out.
Right.
And why wouldn't they?
Well,
like why are they?
To me, that is my thing is if they had cruel intentions, then they would have done it already, right? If they're here, they could wipe us out right now. Why wait? Why wait these? I mean, they've been seen for, since early war days. Remember, they're saying these things were in the middle of wars and people always thought it was the other side. You know what I mean?
Well, dude, he even said, Grusch had said that one of the first non-human spacecraft we got was we got from Mussolini's government.
Yes. Oh, that's what it's saying. In like the 1933 or something. Well, no, I think it was 33.
It was like the end of the World War II or something. We got it.
Yeah, and then the Vatican was hiding it. The Vatican had it. That's crazy, right?
Think of the technology that we had back then, right? Like just standard run of the mill, right? Like, I mean, I'm sure we had radio. Yeah, radio was around then. TV was probably a pipe dream. You know what I mean? Right. But like, and then
they had we're talking vacuum motion tubes. Picture. Yeah.
Yeah. But I mean, sure.
No tubes yet. I don't think that was even it. It was all like motion picture. That's what it was. That was probably.
But we had radio. Radio wasn't vacuum.
Yeah. Radio
tubes.
Was there for sure.
Yeah. But that's what I'm saying. So I thought that was vacuum because that
vacuum
was
tubes
the
radio.
Old school transistors were vacuum tubes.
Right. So well, I don't know.
I'm too dumb to know for sure.
Either way, 1933. I'm pretty sure there was radio. I'm almost positive.
Yeah.
When did the
there was radio.
War of the Worlds scare happen? That happened before that, even I think.
I don't even know.
It was like a story that was being told on the radio, and people thought they were being invaded.
Oh, right. Aliens, yeah. Because they thought it would. Yeah, they just turned it on. Right in the middle of it. But what I'm saying is like we had radio, but I mean TV wasn't a thing yet. We had very basic technology. And like people probably didn't have like legitimate refrigerators and air conditioning and they like it was an icebox kind of thing. You know, they freaking get an ice delivery every day. Yeah. And now you got this spaceship that just shows up, like the Vatican hands it over, and you got to try to understand. Like you don't even know what a semiconductor is, right? Like silicon chips on glass or on sand wasn't a thing yet. Like,
dude, that's why semiconductor and microchips is alien technology. Like, how do we? That is, I believe we got that information from that probably something like that. I think, but there were like what they say that so it crashed. The Vatican had it because it crashed in Italy, and then they gave it to the U.S. like 10 years later in 1944. Right. So, U.S. has the plus the Roswell stuff because he mentioned that too, right? Like he's saying there's damaged aircraft, full intact. And they're saying that sometimes they think that they were even given to us. Not even like, here, take it.
How does that even happen?
I mean, maybe they're just trying to advance us.
Right, but they know to give it to the government. I mean, I guess they could tell, right?
Imagine not going to give it to me, This guy, hey, look at it. Let's give it to this farmer,
But then how did Mussolini get it? Like, was that a downcraft then, right? Like, I mean, they assumed that out of all the people to give it to, his government,
that guy, right?
Yeah, right. It just seems weird. But well, they wanted him to win. Dude, I just can't. Like, I go back and thinking about freaking Bob Lazar's story, and what sucks is, dude, I read this freaking post on Reddit about Bob Lazar, and it was this guy that broke down Dude, it was pages and pages that I read. I'm like laying in bed on my phone. And it was this guy who seemed really smart, was using technical terms, like had diagrams, like it was full on like a deep read where like even times I started to glaze over. I'm like, oh, this is too much information. I just can't, I can't follow. And like breaking down and even providing like, he's like, hey, Bob Lazar mentioned that it's like this cyclotron kind of engine or process. And he's like, that's, common knowledge, that's nothing new. We had those already. And
then though, back when Bob Lazar,
I don't know. I mean, was this 86, or at least we were messing around with them, I guess. But this guy just broke it all down. And I was like, fuck, Bob Lazar's a fraud. And I'm like, I want to believe, so I'm not going to listen to this,
Right.
But then shit like this comes out where Grusch is coming out and saying that we have mini ships, like we have them. And other countries have them. And it's like this arms race to figure it out and understand them and to recreate. I mean, he pretty much at times was saying that we're trying to like backwards engineer them.
Yeah.
That's exactly what Bob was saying, man. Exactly.
Oh, yeah. And wasn't he I think he's not the only one who's been saying this. Like other people are saying the same thing about many countries. Like this isn't the first guy to say other countries have spaceships also, you know what I mean?
Right.
Like other people are saying that as well. And then he had to go to Congress to even get permission to talk about this, right? Before he talked about it. I think
he actually went through the whole whistleblower process, right? Like and that's what I'm saying. Like, I don't think he can give legitimate details. So like when I read an article and he's like, oh, he's not providing any proof. And it's like, well, dude, like you're a shitty journalist that is that you have a bias where you're trying to like, he can't give out that information.
Right.
Yeah. Because otherwise he'll go to jail and they're waiting for him to freaking just say
one thing wrong. Yeah.
So we can throw you in jail and just say, this guy's a kook, and we can just keep moving on. We got another 10 years before we got to show something.
Yeah. It's coming though, Chris. I think that it's coming. Like, did you see anything about that Las Vegas thing?
No, I saw stuff about Texas, but not Las Vegas.
There was a Las Vegas one where these guys were working on their truck in the backyard and they felt a huge crash, like boom or crash. They thought something crashed or something. And it was a loud, thunderous noise, they said.
Okay.
And then they saw like several of them around their backyard, tall, 9 to 10 feet tall, big eyes. And then they called the police.
Oh, fuck.
And this light or whatever they saw was caught on police dash cams and stuff like that. And it was
really
caught. Yeah. He goes, but the kid who was explaining this he said when he went outside, it was just so fuzzy outside. It was blurry outside, where like it was distorted outside for a while, and then it went away. But he's seen creatures, like he's seen things.
Dude,
that
I
were
would
tall.
Shit myself, dude.
I'm telling you. But like, if you think about like how he's describing like the distortedness, doesn't it kind of make it kind of sound like it could be an interdimensional kind of thing? If it's like all of a sudden the area is distorted and fuzzy,
like if I would imagine, and dude, this is just from movies, like if you were able to come across dimensions, which I don't even know what that means, right? I would imagine there would be some kind of distortion. Something would happen. It would, sonic boom kind of thing at minimum. But I would think once you're here, right? Yeah. Like it's not like you're still halfway.
Unless it fucks up the environment. You know what I mean? Like, is it a clean transition? Is it something that could stay? Is it a portal or something that stays open for a little while? Or I don't know. It's I don't know. All I know is it's very exciting for me, and I fucking love it. Like, do you ever see that unsolved? I get in these freaking TikToker thing holes.
Is it actually TikTok?
I don't know what it is. It's a reel.
But like,
from
do you
Facebook
have TikTok on your phone?
No, it's like it's reels or something.
So it's Facebook, or whatever.
Facebook, yeah. I do have TikTok on my phone, actually. I do. But I don't ever get, like, only because people will send me a TikTok and I will watch it. You know what I mean?
Right.
And
you can only watch one video on the web, and then you got to download it. I will not download TikTok.
I downloaded it. I don't give a fuck.
It's like I don't have Facebook on my phone. I don't do Facebook.
Yeah. See it? And I get it. I get just like you do on your YouTube Shorts or whatever. That's what I get. It's the same. It's all the same.
Yeah, for sure.
And then so like there was one thing where these people are filming down a tunnel, right? And I don't know if you've seen it where all of a sudden it's like sound waves and like that you could see the ground. It's so powerful and so crazy that and like they had scientists looking at it and he was like, oh, this looks like it could be a interdimensional portal of some sort,
bullshit.
But either way, and it could be anything, but it was very crazy. Like, what is that? What's happening there? You know what I mean? What's going on there? Yeah, I'll have to send you the video.
If it's with cameras, it's tough, man, because like you can like film a propeller,
make anything,
and it doesn't look like it's moving. You know what I mean? Just because of it's not a real eye. There's a refresh rate. There's all these things, and it's damn, dude, yeah, dude, I'm worried. I don't think anything's going to come out of this. I think this is going to be. We got about another week. There's going to be a few news sources that are going to continue to push it, talk about it, but nothing's going to happen. Money's going to exchange hands. It's going to be yes, I do.
I mean, they're going to have something in Congress still. They're going to have a bullshit thing like they did before with what's the guy's name from Rogan that brought it up?
David Grusch. Well, he's not the guy on Rogan though.
He's not the guy. Yeah, he's a different guy.
Jeremy Corbyn.
Maybe that's what it is. Anyway, the guy, but like he's the one who kicked off the other Congress thing. You know what I mean? The other where they watched
the guy that did video. Moment of Contact. I don't know. Doesn't matter.
I don't freaking know.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Oh, dude, the pilot guy.
Yeah.
You're talking about. Yeah.
The pilot guy. No. Well, the pilot guy, but the guy that kicks it all off. I guess he's the same guy who did the Bob Lazar
that was
documentary.
Yeah, Jeremy Corbyn. Which, dude, that's I don't like Jeremy Corbyn. I mean, I don't know him obviously, but I just don't like his whole freaking delivery, the way he talks about it.
That's the thing it's not that it's not good information. He's just not good. Like that documentary was garbage compared to the interview that Rogan gave.
Yes,
you know what I mean?
Dude, for sure. He tries to make it bigger than it seems, and just this is everyone in the world has been waiting for this information, and it's like, well, I didn't even know about it, so I wasn't waiting for it. You know, and it's like, so I know you're wrong at his already. Job. Yeah,
he's just a shitty documentary guy.
All of the clips of the interview with David Grusch that I saw, I felt like he was in the same vein as Jeremy Corbyn or Corbell. Sorry, I was saying his name wrong. Where like just the way he was talking and the words he was using, and
like he's a salesman.
Yeah, dude, exactly. And I was like, fuck, why like it seems as if there's like three types of people in the world. There's like those freaking salesman type people. Then there's like normal people, which I feel is, you and I. And then there's like everyone else who actually has like some kind of encounter with an alien. And all, like, why do all of the people that have encounters with aliens, like, why does it sound like they're right out of Alabama, backwoods, unintelligent? You're like, fuck, I couldn't have been just a normal person.
Yeah. Like I want to see dude, but I'm telling you, I've seen shit too. So, and I consider myself kind of normal. When we saw that thing over our house, a trillion years ago, I saw that. We saw that. That was something. I
wish I was older. I mean, I wish I was older at the time when that happened. Because like in my eyes, it just, I remember seeing, was it 4 lights? And I just,
no, it was a big triangle.
See, I don't even remember.
Dude, and the thing is you may not even been there the first night and may have seen it the second night when it was actual planes in a triangle formation. You know what I mean? Like I remember all of us were like, that's not even the same thing we saw yesterday or the day before. It was like 2 days in a row this thing flew over. Something flew over. It was a solid triangle red light thing as big as a football field. Like, it was huge. Flew over. And then the next day, lights in the same formation flew over, but you can tell they were individual planes and you can hear them. You can hear the planes, where this thing that flew over was silent.
Huh.
So, and I've seen it and I'm normal, except I believe in ghosts and Bigfoot. So I guess that doesn't mean anything.
It does. Dude, I'm not going to lie. Like, you believe in Bigfoot and being, and the Ouija board, like totally. Yeah. I'm like, man, I don't understand. I thought we were on the same level. Yeah, no.
I mean, but like, really, if I had to, like, do I believe in ghosts? Yes. I believe in Ouija board. Yes. Bigfoot. Yeah. I'm more on the borderline of, what's going on? Only because of all the sightings and stuff. But either way, that's a different topic. But aliens are no doubter, man. Science points towards aliens.
Yeah. Dude, so Grusch did a like this isn't his first kind of like whistleblower kind of like complaint, right? Like he did it back in 2021, and I feel like we didn't hear anything about that.
Yeah.
Like, or at least it wasn't as big as this. This is like, this made it to like my front page news, you know? And,
right.
And I search about aliens all the time. So like I should have seen it in 2021. And then that's what I'm worried about this, man. It's going to be another 2021 incident. Only a few people are going to hear about it. Or I mean, obviously everybody heard about it now, but it's just going to disappear, man. Something else is going to come up, you know?
Well, or they're saying, you know, a lot of people are saying this is all smoke and mirrors. Look this way because something else is going on over there. So it's very possible that that's what's happening as well. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But
dude, if
government's good at that.
Yeah. If defense contractors, right? I'm thinking like Lockheed Martin, SpaceX, right? Like all these people, if they're, it's probably not SpaceX. Like I don't know if they could trust Musk with it because he'd probably freaking just tell everyone. But if it was, they're the ones that are housing this to kind of keep it secret, right? And that's how they keep it secret, right? Like we don't have it, they have it, so we don't have to report it. So, but my fear is suddenly, you know, whoever in Congress is pushing really, really hard, it's going to, in 2 years, they're going to hit their freaking reelection term. And Lockheed Martin is suddenly going to give, hey, we're going to, you know, contribute $3 million to your fund, but here's our rules. You know, I mean, that's how it works. You know what I mean? Yeah. And, you know, NRA does it. Everyone does it. Freaking, you know, the pharmaceutical industry does it. So it's like, that's what's going to happen.
Yeah, it's just going to get swept under the rug again. You know what? It's no human is going to bring this to light. It's going to be them fucking coming down and showing themselves.
That's what it's going to have to take. Yeah.
Yeah. But
dude, I mean, like, if they're mean, I swer to God, there's nothing I can do.
Yeah. You're just going to cry because that's what I'll do.
Well, dude, yeah. I mean, I'm going to shit myself and I'm going to hope that I smell bad enough that they're not going to want me. And then, but even if I had a gun, I can't shoot them. You know, like what's my little 9mm going to do? Yeah, right.
I mean, like if they're people outside of, we can't shoot at their ships or something, but if they're walking amongst us, can we shoot them? I mean, you don't think we can kill them? You don't think they're killable? You know what I mean? It'd be like us showing up in back in the 1800s. You know, they may think we're unkillable, but we're not. We can still be shot and killed.
Right.
We can have all this technology and we can have
our car would be considered a tank because like an arrow can't go through it, you know?
Exactly. Yeah. Or even just wearing, you know, a bulletproof vest or something, you know what I mean? Where
that's true.
You know, so I mean, these we could still be killed. And that's the thing.
Dude, can a bulletproof vest stop an arrow? It has to, right? Yeah.
It's gotta be more than
bounce right off it.
I would think. I don't know.
Yeah,
I'm sure some arrows. I mean, an old native stone arrow. Yeah, I would say it would bounce right off.
Just chip,
right? But maybe the arrows that they go hunting with now that'll freaking put a hole bigger than a bullet in a deer. You know,
it's got an explosive tip though. Through. Yeah. Dude, one of the things that I never thought about with aliens, and I don't know if Grusch brought it up in one of his interviews, but it's something like in the last 2 weeks, I was like, oh fuck, I never thought about that. And it made me think of moment of contact and these creatures that showed up.
Right.
That maybe these aren't aliens, but these are AI beings, right? They're machines that they built that have like they're 3D printed with like flesh or whatever, and they have. I don't know what their fuel source should be or how that would even work, but that it's not them because they can't. It's too dangerous to travel or like maybe if shit crashes, like they can't trust us. They don't want to die here on Earth. So they build something and send that to us to report.
What do they call that? Like they're talking about humans even being that later on part bionicle or what do they call it? Organic, but it's still computerized. Yeah.
Something. I know what you mean. Yeah.
Which is possible. But even that guy that was saying it's science fiction and not real, he was saying, why would they come down themselves when ourselves, we probably fly more drones and planes and do stuff, you know, manless missions than with men, you know, with people in the cockpits anymore. You know what I mean? Like all the bombings and stuff that we do anywhere, it's all drone stuff now pretty much, you know, there's dog fights and fights and stuff, but Like, but I'm like,
not
but
like it was.
Yeah. But that's why this guy's like, I mean, come on, we send humans to the moon. We want to send humans to Mars. It's not about we sent a rover to Mars unmanned. You know what I mean? That's it. The next step, you send a person, so to me, yeah, they could be sending, but why would would they be that different than us that, they don't want to see it with their own eyes? You know what I mean?
Well, maybe they don't need to.
Yeah, right. Maybe like they can live it through the body,
or they don't need to live it. They just need information, or they're I don't know. It's like dude, it's exactly like a drone, right? If we're gonna, why would we send a pilot over there that's going to cost more money? It's dangerous when we could just have someone sitting in front of a computer screen with a joystick flying it in, South Carolina or wherever it's at, and it's safer all the way around. You know what I mean? Yeah. And cheaper. So and you still get the job done. So I could totally see them building.
But that's stuff on Earth. If we're going to the moon, I mean, or going to Mars, we're sending people. You know what I mean? We may send something there first that's not human, like the rover that's on the Mars right now. And then what's next? People are going there.
Yeah, but what if, dude? Okay, so what if we go to Mars, and or what if somehow we had 17 planets, in our solar system that were reachable, that were just kind of just like Mars,
right?
And once we go to 5 of them, we kind of know what's up, and it's like, hey, we don't need to do this anymore. I mean, it's literally like, hey, we don't need to fly a manned jet to go bomb these people anymore, when we can trust our technology to do it, and we can see, and we can make sure we hit the target, and we can,
unless and doesn't make anything better, but I think we send people there and we keep looking at other planets because there might be something of value. There might be something that we want from that planet.
Sure.
You know what I mean? Maybe it's some sort of mining. Maybe it's a mineral that we don't have on Earth that is there that we can use to create even more technology. You know what I mean?
But dude, I would think, like, for us, if we go on the moon, or like the rover, right, that's on Mars is collecting a lot of like badass soil samples, and it's able to like do some readings on it and transmit the information back. But we don't have those rocks, right? So, but I would agree, if we had a human on Mars, we can do a shit ton more experiments, right? Like someone can be like, no, it kind of has this feel in my fingers when I hold it, or whatever, like we can.
Right.
But I think that's just the limit of our technology, because we just have this like super mechanical rover that's got to dig and rotate and put it over in this container, and then it sucks. It can't go very far today because it's got a fucking rock stuck in its wheel.
Right.
So I just, imagine if we could build something like a human that could just go off and do stuff for us, and I don't know,
and you can control it as if it's you. If you have the technology go against dimensions, I'm sure you can develop a Android type thing that you could control it as if it's you, and you're feeling as if
you don't even have to control it. Like, what if it is legitimate AI? It knows everything you know. It knows more than you know, and it's this biomechanical being that can, like, you don't have to send yourself to go do it. You can just go send this other thing to go do it, and it can it's able to report back and say, oh yeah, no, it feels like this when I touch it, and yeah, this water's cold, and so it has it's human enough, or it's alien. It has all this. It's that advanced.
So what's okay, I guess, but like, I don't know. For me, I feel like,
unless we're going to conquer, that's the only reason why we would. If we were that advanced, that's the only reason why we'd send humans. But for sure, we'd send an army
we're sending
of droids.
Humans to Mars. We're sending humans to Mars, Chris. So we're not conquering it. I mean, is that considered conquering it? Maybe.
Well, no, but yeah, that's to see if we could live there. We can build a civilization. Can we build a base? Right? I mean, it's
a lot more than that. I think it's
one of a million. You don't think so?
Yeah. No, I mean, I think it's going to be research. I think it's purely scientific right now. I'm sure there's possibilities. They have all kinds of things that are possible that they can do there. Maybe they could colonize there. Maybe they can, send people there to live. But I'm sure it's just like, hey, what does Mars have? What can Mars tell us about our future? What can Mars, it's research. And they're going to send people. You know what I mean? They're going to send people there.
Yeah.
So I'm thinking it's why can't aliens be any different?
Yeah.
Why can't they send themselves?
Dude, those could be the real aliens.
If you watch Star Trek, they all send their aliens everywhere they go.
And they all live on a ship. They all speak the same language.
But if you think about it, Star Trek has pretty much... no, they don't all speak the same language. They all speak different languages in Star Trek.
Do they? Okay.
Klingon and Vulcan. And
but they all know English.
Yeah. But if you think about it, Star Trek has pretty much told the future of what's happening with flip phones and all, all their technology that was sci-fi. It's all real today. So who knows?
I wonder how much of that is like you plant a seed of, hey, we want this to be possible, or it'd be cool, like, dude, sometimes it's the idea that's hard. You know what I mean?
Right.
And I would have never thought to have a flip phone. I mean, you and I growing up, like, my dad had a rotary phone in his a bedroom, badass thing. And to think that this could be like the Motorola Razr back in the day, right? When I was in high school, it was like the best phone, like the ringtones on it were amazing. But to come up with a flip phone, like that's so, it just would have never entered my mind.
But I wonder if, like, since the seed was planted from Star Trek, where they had that, like, someone could have invented something, but it could have looked like this. It could have been, this could have been our phone, because it was just an idea instead of using somebody else's seed.
What if that was something that would, like, clipped onto our belt, and then, like, we had just an earpiece or something,
right.
You know what I mean? And, like, that's what they came up with. It could have
been cooler, but they saw it probably could have been better, except they saw something on Star Trek, and now they got that idea of doing a flip phone instead.
But that's what I'm saying. Like they came up with that idea in Star Trek, and then that's how Steve Jobs came up with it,
Star Trek. Yeah.
Dude, I'm not a dork. I don't know. I mean, I'm a dork, obviously, but I don't watch. I don't know why I don't. I watched it when I was a kid. I remember watching it with my mom in the 90s. It was Next Generation with the guy from Reading Rainbow.
Yeah. Yep. Geordi.
That was his name.
Captain Picard. I loved all those. Yeah.
When Geordi took off his glasses or his, like, visor thing,
right?
And then his eyes were white or something.
Yeah.
I was like, oh, that's fucking crazy. I don't think I slept well.
I mean, but can you imagine? Like, they said that these UFOs are massive. They can be huge. You know what I mean? And that, can you imagine something just coming out of the sky and everybody seeing it? And like, dude, that's going to be so crazy. It's going to be crazy when it happens. It's going to happen, Chris.
How is it, dude, in the 1940s, if it happened in some little town, it's impossible for that information to, like, really leave that town. Like, that newspaper has to pick it up, has to hit the Associated Press or something back then, whatever it was.
Yeah. For
someone in New York to even care to make it, nationwide news. And now someone can just take a picture on their phone and tweet it out. And
but to me, I bet you they know that. But I bet you they know that. I bet you they, if they wanted us to know about them, they'd be here and they'd show us. You know what I mean? If maybe they try to stay hidden. You know what I mean? Yeah. Maybe they try to stay cloaked most of the time. And now they're just kind of easing us in. I believe, like, my conspiracy theorist is that they've been among us for a while. The government is afraid of how humans will react to aliens. It totally kills religion. You know what I mean? Mm-hmm. Totally the government keeps us in check with religion. You know what I mean? Keeps the masses in check with religion.
Will pivot. It's too big of an industry to not, like, they're not
right. But I mean, like
billions.
If you think about yeah, exactly. But if you think about what they preach, or, like, with the whole abortion stuff, or gay or transgender, it's all religion driven. You know what I mean? It's all, and that's those are people in our government that are pushing and trying to control things with. You know what I mean?
Right.
With religion, and you know,
I mean, dude, it's important. I mean, in our lifetime, man, I think it was it Mitt Romney was Mormon. Or is Mormon?
Yeah,
and they were talking about, like, can we have a Mormon president?
Right.
It's like, who gives a shit what religion? I mean, I care. Like, how much of an idiot are they? You know what I mean? And but it's like
dumb. Well, it's because Catholics and other Christians are They don't believe in Mormonism. That's why they would be like, oh, are they going to go against what we believe and what we're telling our sheeple? That's why.
It's if you believe in, I don't know.
Yeah.
if you're gonna go down a make believe path,
but either way, I'm saying
my make believe path is better than yours, and you're dumb for believing what you believe. But my make believe thing is way better.
But that's my point. Don't you think there would be some mass hysteria? I mean, and okay, just so you and I, who aren't very religious, if we found out there was no aliens or that there were aliens, we'd freak out, right? No doubt.
I'm not religious at all. Are you religious a little bit?
No, I'm saying if you and I aren't religious,
okay,
and if we find out there's aliens, we're going to freak out. But I think we'll freak out less than somebody who's a devout Christian who only believes in God and Jesus and being told their whole lives that there's no such thing as aliens and God's the only thing. They are going to freak out way more because now they're freaking out about the aliens and now they're lost. Now they're like, oh my God.
They're going to be pissed. They're going to be like, I could have been fucking guys this whole time.
Yeah. Like,
because they're gay and I've been wanting to and I can't. Yeah. Like this whole I'm fucking 45. I could have been fucking guys.
Yeah. I've been banging this vagina for 20 years that I hate. And I could have had an asshole my whole life.
I was going to say, like, this vagina smells weird, but like ass. Like,
ass can't be better. But yeah, so I mean, yeah, they're going to be upset. It's going to be crazy. I think it'd be crazy for them. You know what I mean? Because they're getting lots of slaps in their face where, people like us just get the one big slap in the face.
Yeah, dude, it's definitely a level of control, right? Like we, our
but
government
that's why I think they've been
us.
feeding us little by little, preparing us mentally for the big unveiling. Yes.
Right. Like we can't, know it's coming. There's too much, like it's too easy to spread information now.
Yeah. So the bits of information we're getting, like that's why, like when the freaking Pentagon announced that there are UFOs, like they said, yes, we don't know what these are.
How is that not common knowledge, right? Like how is that not like everyone's not doing a deep dive into that?
Yeah, and that's what I'm saying is like, but did you see there was no reaction to that? Like the masses didn't have a reaction to the most powerful government in the world is saying there's these UFOs that we don't know what they are. We're not saying they're alien, but we're saying we have no clue what they are. And then now they have their own, UFO is like a common name, but now they don't use it. What are UAPs now or something like that? So I mean, like they have official government names now. It's not just UFOs. They have real stuff now. There's categories. Oh, and they were saying how I had it somewhere, but like they're like ever since, or like I guess they're starting to keep track of military sightings of UFOs, right? Or UAPs.
Really?
And when they first brought this to light, there was like 200 sightings in the past, X amount of years, that were reported and that they had to disclose. Yeah, we had 200 sightings over the last. Now, from that point on to now, there's like 1,000 sightings. Like they're seeing them all the time. Like it's happening all the time. And before, people weren't reporting them because they were afraid they're going to lose their job. They were afraid that, they lose their pilot license. They're crazy,
stigma of
now,
a UFO.
Yeah. And now everybody's recording. I mean, they're being reported all the time. And like, I think they said there was 1,000 reports last year or something like that.
Huh.
That's crazy.
That's crazy. It is, dude. Like this video, it was like a government, like it was NASA and like the UAP organization or group that freaking studies it for the government or whatever, where they came out and they talked about a number of sightings. Like they showed like it's a video I've seen. I know you've seen it of like this orb, just cruising along and like it's caught on video or whatever.
Yeah.
And they had said, hey, we have a crap ton of sightings and, a lot of them can be explained. The ones that can be explained, they pretty much, and it's almost like the words that they used is like, it's hidden between it. And they're saying that we don't know what it is because we can't test it. We can't test our hypothesis to prove what it is in a sense. Right. But then they also like said it in a way where it's just like, So it's undefined.
Yeah, so we're not going to worry about it.
Yeah, we don't know what it is, and we're just going to move on in a sense. Yeah. And it's just like, and that's all we get, and we're inundated with this stuff.
There's no protocol. That's another thing with the military. There's no protocol for this stuff, so they don't do anything about it. You know what I mean? There's no protocol for seeing UAPs. I mean, there might be now, but before forever there was none. So they were this
UAP group organization. What's it called? Committee? I fucking don't know.
Right.
They're not the ones that know, right? They're if there's
they're the ones that want to know. I think.
Right, but they're the ones that aren't given the resources. They're the ones that it's almost like, well, okay, if you, all right, Americans and David Grusch, if you think there's really UFOs, let's go talk to the UAP organization and see what they say. Right. And like that committee comes out and says, well, I don't, all three of them
they only know what we know. You know what I mean? They only know what's been told to them.
And they're like,
you know what I mean?
Nope. Yeah, we don't think there's aliens. And they're like, all right, proof. There's no aliens. Cool. Let's move on. And it's
they said
Grusch is
none,
like, no, that's not it. Yeah.
Yeah.
Dude,
yeah. I don't know. I just really I'm ready. I'm ready for it to happen. I'm ready. Let's go. I could die of a heart attack any day now. So to me, it doesn't matter. Maybe if I was younger and had, really was scared to die or whatever, but I'm not anymore. So let's go.
Do you talk to your kids about aliens?
Yeah. I mean, we've had open discussions about them for sure. Yeah.
And they're not scared.
No. You know why? Because everybody's numb to shit. You know what I mean? They're numb to everything. With technology and growing up with all this technology, I mean, they can watch porn at 7 years old from their phone that their parents got them for Christmas one year. You know what I mean? Right. There's no unknown territory. They have access to everything that you and I have access to on the internet. You know what I mean? So
which is mostly porn.
Yeah, mostly porn.
Yeah.
But they, I think they're just numb to it. I don't see kids. I mean, yes, there are some kids that are scared. Like Jake was scared of the MGM line forever. You know what I mean? Anytime it popped up on the damn movie, he'd scream and bloody murder. You know what I mean?
The MGM lion?
Yeah. Like MGM. He would go, MGM. You're like, this is all the way up till he's, how old is he right now? 13? He was probably 12 when he stopped. No, just kidding. No, but it lasted a lot longer than it should, where he'd get so much, if we took him to a movie, he'd get so much anxiety thinking that MGM's going to pop up.
Right.
And and he'd be like it's true fear. And I found this out at a young age with him because he was in a high chair, and I put on Wizard of Oz, and at the very beginning there's a black and white lion, a real lion, and then he's just started screaming, and he's probably 7 months at this age, 8 months, and I'm like, what is he screaming at? I can't think of why he's screaming.
Sure.
So I'm thinking, and I'm feeding him was it the lion? So I rewound it. And the lion came on. He got all freaked out. I'm like, he's really scared of the lion.
How many times did you replay that?
Probably 7 times, at least 7 times. And I'm like, oh yeah, so then my wife gets home. I'm like, hey, watch this. Rewind. So from then on, that terrified him at a very young age for unknown reasons.
That's why, because he thought he was going to die that day.
The first time he saw it, he cried.
Times. Yeah, but then you did it 7 more times for him.
Yeah, but what was so scary about that? You know what I mean? I guess it's a lion roar. I guess it sounds scary, but does a 7-month-old know what a scary sound sounds like? 8-month-old knows what a
I don't know. I mean, it's scary to them, right? It's somehow relative. There, you did. You spilled it.
Oh. No, I almost did. I almost knocked it over.
Oh, no, right? I mean, there's still this innate need to live, and you could tell what's scary and run from it. It's a it's different, for obviously someone who's 7 months old.
But either way, I think kids they're not little kids are scared, but I mean teenage kids, kids that are woke.
What would you, I mean, obviously my dad never talked to me about aliens. I think I brought it up to him, and he was like, "Ugh, it's nothing." You know what I mean?
Really?
Did your dad ever talk to you?
No. If we talked about, my dad was always about it. You know what I mean?
Really?
He was like, dude, oh yeah. He was always, dude, they're out there. They're out there. You can't say that they're not out there. You know what I mean? He was about it. Like he wasn't like there's aliens and feeding us that there's aliens. He was just like, yeah, well, it's possible. It's possible they're out there. Are we the only ones in this entire universe?
Right.
He was, but in the few conversations I had with my dad, I'm pretty sure stuff like science and stuff like he put the fear, like I was scared he got like a National Geographic one day, and because we had that all the time, but he would talk about some of the stuff in National Geographic. Well, one of them was nuclear explosions, nuclear bombs and stuff. And they showed all these mushroom clouds, and then they showed the Hiroshima, and they talk about how it could just, if my dad would say, yeah, if they were to drop one at Sky Harbor, which is a target of, they talk about all the, targets, like that Russia would target. It would be airports. It would be
all of the international
nuclear power plants and stuff.
Yeah.
And he's like, yeah, if at least if a nuclear bomb landed right at Sky Harbor, the base of the mushroom cloud would disintegrate us before we even knew it. Yeah. So I'm like, oh, okay, well, I guess that's good. But no, but then I had like a super, super fear all the way for a long time. Like I would see thunder clouds, like, thunder clouds kind of go up into mushroom shape sometimes. Yeah. And I used to think, oh my God, it's a freaking nuclear war happening, every
just
time.
Just like waiting for like the blast to hit
you. Yeah. So I always had a fear of that. But as a, teenager, I mean, I don't know. I just don't feel like my kids are scared of anything. They're not. Okay. The answer is no, they're not scared of aliens. We talk about aliens all the time and they're not scared.
I had a conversation last night with Lily about it. And even, a couple times before, like we've talked about aliens and just like, let's think about it mathematically. Like, what are the odds? Right. What are the chances? And I was always worried that she would freak out about it because it's like this unknown thing. Is she going to see him as some kind of invaders? And she never asked, like, well, why would they come here? And if she did, I would share my thoughts of like, no, I think they're here to like correct us, but,
or help us, maybe, hopefully.
Yeah, no, I never had that conversation with my dad. Or when I did, I brought it up. I think when we saw the Phoenix Lights, or what I think are the Phoenix Lights, whatever.
Or even when we saw that one movie, didn't we go see a movie that was alien?
Yeah, Fire in the Sky.
Fire in the Sky, yeah. Mm-hmm. You probably talked to him then too, yeah.
Yeah. And that was about the time the Phoenix Lights thing happened, I feel like,
around
right?
there, yeah.
That was, it was.
Well, no, the Phoenix Lights, that's huge, that everybody document happened as we were adults. What we saw happened when we were kids, but it's the same thing that Phoenix Lights was. It just there was no social media. There was nothing going on crazy. Phoenix Lights happened 15 years ago, 20 years ago.
Huh. Okay. I remember seeing something on YouTube where, again, and you and I, we have different recollection of it, of I thought there was like four like lights in the sky, right? Like four like red orbs just kind of going. And I remember running in and telling my dad, and he came out, and I think by that time they were kind of far away. But he's like, no, those are airplanes, or it's whatever, right. It's no big deal. But dude, I've seen jets now, right? Like there's times where I'll hear them like at work.
Oh yeah.
And I work in North Phoenix, which is pretty far from Luke Air Force Base, and I don't think that base is used that much anymore. But
it is. No, it's used all the time. I do tests all their jets are flying all the time up there.
But you can't even see them.
Yeah, you hear them before you see them, and then all of a sudden you see them in a distance, but like they're already gone. But we hear the sound.
Right. I remember there was no sound, and they were just like, if those were like afterburners or whatever, what if it was an airplane, whatever we saw, if it was 4 airplanes, like it's just weird. But I don't know, man. It's just
like my dad didn't what care. Shape did you see them in? Were they in a triangle? I only remember in a triangle. I remember a triangle going like this.
I felt like they were in a line, and they were just moving off in the distance. And again, this is where you and I disagree on it. I remember going over Lois's house. Over, the Whittles house, like when they moved across the street. That's what I remember.
Yeah. And
even you say it was going the other direction.
And even when I read the article, it was saying it was coming from the northeast heading southwest. And that's exactly how I remember it. I'm like, yeah, that's
what
exactly.
Year was that?
Remember. Well, that's the thing is maybe I think what we saw that night is different than the Phoenix Lights. I don't think it's the Phoenix Lights.
Right, but what
year was that? It had to have been.
I'm trying to think. I was 9 or 10.
Late 80s.
Right? Okay.
Late 80s, maybe 1990. Maybe around when the Suns were in the playoffs with against the Bulls, and maybe around that time. Because I want to say Sean and then lived across the street at the time, so that had to have been around that time. They lived there when the Suns were playing the Bulls in the championship. So I want to say maybe 93, maybe 90, maybe around that time, because they were there. They saw it too. And the Albertsons were not there, so they didn't live there anymore.
Albertsons left pretty early.
Yeah,
in my recollection. Yeah, and then yeah. I don't know, but
yeah, I don't know. All I know is they're coming. If they're not already here,
we'll see.
Dude, if they're interdimensional, they could be right here. They could be just with us, and just kind of on a different plane, and they can be observing everything we're doing all the time. Like when I'm rubbing one out, and all of a sudden I blow my shit out, and it goes farther. I'm like, oh, I made a mess. They saw it. They just saw me do that. I think about that when I think about ghosts too. I'm like, if there's a ghost in my house, are they seeing me whack it? Because this is weird. It's awkward. Oh well. If they want to watch, they can watch, I guess. That's how I think about it.
Are you kidding? You really think about that?
Yeah. Like if I saw a ghost, like if I thought there was a ghost in my house and I was scared, and when it will cross my mind after I rub one out, you know, when you get that depressed feeling after you rub one out, and you're like,
yeah, like 3 seconds right afterwards. Yeah.
I'm just like, ugh, why do I do that? I'm so shitty. And but then I'm thinking,
how am I going to fuck my wife tonight? Yeah.
And there's a ghost. What do they think about it? Like, do they see me do this? If there's a ghost watching, why wouldn't they watch me do that? Why would they just fuck with me when I'm watching TV or turn the lights off or something?
Why don't they give you a hand?
Yeah.
Tickle your pulse.
What if it's a hot ghost or something? I don't know. But what if ghosts I think I always see are just the interdimensional aliens that are just on a different plane watching us all the time? What if that's what we're communicating when we have Ouija board?
This is definitely not what's happening with the Ouija board.
You never know, Chris. You don't know. You can't say definitely not. You don't fucking know. What if that's their way of communicating with us? What if throughout history, you know, they've always talked about, like, throughout history, there've always been something about spirits or ghosts or demons or something. What if it's always just been aliens? What if, just like Jesus, what if Jesus was just an alien? What if God, everything that humans believe in are just based off of what aliens? So why can't it all just be aliens? It's very possible, Chris. Very possible.
It is. But I don't think that the Ouija board is not an avenue towards talking to. Anyways, we don't need to rehash that. We should wrap it up though, man. I just hope this keeps pushing. I hope that.
Well, let's follow up on this. We'll keep an eye on it and see if anything comes of it, otherwise, or it just goes completely under the rug like the rest of the stuff. Which is going under. Really, I know we're wrapping up, but I know it's going underneath the rug because nobody fucking cares. They care more about Trump or Kardashians or Sleepy Joe to even talk about the stuff that have been brought up in Congress and things that our government has, you know, said, hey, there's UFOs. Like, how is nobody fucking going crazy over that? Nobody.
Yeah.
You know,
dude, I think that's is.
Have you seen that movie? Don't Look Up.
No.
All right, it's a Netflix movie. It has Leonardo DiCaprio, and it's kind of like a dig on Trump, and but there's a meteor coming to kill Earth. It's a world ender. You know, it's coming.
Okay.
But one government party is like, yeah, there's freaking asteroid. The other government party is like, no, that's not going to hit us. Don't look up in the sky. You know what I mean? So no one's looking up because they don't want to believe that there's a comet coming because the government's telling them, no, it's fine. Don't worry about it. But
I totally think our government, if we had an asteroid racing towards us, they wouldn't tell us for
Until
I don't think they would tell us
before. Yeah,
if it leaks out, because it doesn't matter. But at least we're not going to it's not going to be just freaking crazy anarchy for 2 weeks or 3 years or whatever they know. They're just going to keep it quiet.
But that was the thing, is like once people, they would keep doing smoke shows over here to get their minds off of the meteor cuts coming crashing and going to kill them all. But it's just, I think that's what's happening. I think there's a lot of smoke shows, a lot of stuff that, hey, this is more exciting for you than Alien, so let's go ahead and concentrate on this over here. Don't look over there.
Dude, we're so due for a meteor strike. We have to be.
Well, either that or I was reading something else, and this is probably could be a topic for another day if you want to end it.
Yeah.
But they're saying how the government has documents saying that the world pretty much resets every 14,000 years due to magnetic pole shifts. And they've said that the Earth's magnetic pole has shifted several times.
Only 14,000 years?
Yeah, something like that. Something 14,000 years.
Okay.
And that's why we've had many advanced civilizations. They've just been destroyed because of this magnetic shift that we've had several times throughout the existence. Maybe it wasn't 14,000. Maybe it was more than that. Maybe it was 140,000 years. I don't know. But it was something that didn't feel long, because even the pyramids and stuff, what do they think they're only 2,500 year BC, and that's only 5,000 years ago.
Right.
But really they think they're way older than that, which 14,000 years ago, maybe they're that old. You know what I mean?
Huh.
Anyway, that would be cool. Dude. That's interesting.
We should talk about that. But dude, let's wrap it.
All right.
Thanks for chatting.